Let's take a look at our lineup today here on The Now, and it's almost time to send kids back to school. And for some of you, that might mean making that first tuition payment if we're talking college. And we know that paying for college, it can be confusing and scary. So we are taking a look at some of the options you can turn to. There is so much interest now around Area 51 with that Facebook event to actually storm the base. Well, we went to the Nevada desert with alien hunters to look for hints about what might be beyond and at that top secret location. Now, you can customize your workouts with your own genetic information. We're going to talk to a fitness expert breaking down how DNA fitness tests work.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Amanda Starantino, and this is the Now Indy on RTV6. A boy hit by lightning 6 years ago in Indianapolis and almost died is now a man, and his family is celebrating him and his happiness. Happy birthday. Ethan Kadish just turned 19. Every birthday is a milestone, especially if you understand his story. Lightning struck the Loveland, Ohio teen back in 2013 while at camp here in Indianapolis. Ethan lost oxygen to his brain and suffered a traumatic brain injury. Early on, Ethan's mother and his father hoped for a full recovery or something close to it. As time has passed, their expectations have changed. The Kadishes say Ethan has made more progress this year than any year since his injury. It's because of this progress his parents rented a theater for a morning screening of The Lion King to celebrate their son's 19th birthday.
It was amazing. It was so much fun to come together for a happy occasion and something that Ethan could participate in, and it was very touching to see how much enjoyment Ethan had throughout the entire movie.
Today, Ethan's vision is improving, and he has more stamina to go bowling or to the grocery store or the movies with the nurse who cares for him throughout the week. But most importantly, his family is keeping him as comfortable and healthy as they can. And more cases of West Nile virus have been found in Hamilton County. Health officials say they found the virus in 2 mosquito trap locations. One is in the area near Meadowlark Park in Carmel. The other is near 2nd Street and Washington Street in Noblesville. That's near White River. It's another warning that if you are going to be spending time outdoors, make sure you use bug spray that contains DEET to keep those mosquitoes away.
We're looking at the fairgrounds now. Our Salesforce Tower Cam showing you a look at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. The state fair begins a week from today, but I always find this interesting when other states have their state fair. Arizona, of course, it's burning hot, right? Theirs starts in October, and Florida's state fair is February 7th through the 18th. So they've got to move things. Just think if we had snow on the Midway here in central Indiana, I don't know if we'd go for that. No rain in the forecast this weekend. It's Monday when our shower and thunderstorm chances will return. Everybody in the 80s. Delaware County warmest right now, 85. That at Muncie, 81 in Greenwood. Temperatures across the board tonight a little warmer than they have been. Still fairly comfortable. We'll be down into the mid-60s as we go through the overnight. Sky will be clear. That at 11 o'clock tonight. Overnight temperatures, this is the way we'll start our weekend. We'll jump at least 20 degrees to afternoon highs in the mid-80s, if not just a little bit warmer.
Let's start the news feed with big business news today that regulators approved T-Mobile's takeover of Sprint with a merger worth $26.5 billion. The new company will be the 3rd largest wireless provider. Students in South Dakota will notice the national motto at their school this year. The state now requiring schools display "In God We Trust" in an area where students can see it. Those who propose the law say the phrase inspires patriotism. Europe continues to deal with a heat wave. Yesterday, actually the hottest day in Paris ever on record, 107 degrees. The previous record was 104 back in the 40s. And while Paris was dealing with that record heat, the Tour de France got hit with ice, more specifically hail. Now, the storm forced today's event to be stopped. Riders were taking on a mountain pass course that's located more than 9,000 feet above sea level. That race is set to finish on Sunday. Well, bullying is a big problem, and it doesn't appear that it's getting any better with young people. The National Center for Education Statistics says about 1 in 5 kids report being bullied. That same amount, it is the same amount as the last time they surveyed kids about this. Now, what's increasing, though, cyberbullying, specifically among girls. Middle and high school girls are 3 times as likely to face bullying through text messages and social media. We talked to Josh Oakes with smartsocial.com, and he says that people really need to think about the impact that their words online can have.
Every child is going to have a tough day, and they may comment something that to them seems okay, but it may hurt somebody else. So we remind students, make sure before you post that comment, Ask yourself, is it full of positivity and gratitude?
Yeah, good thing to think about. SmartSocial.com does offer some free resources for young people to protect themselves online. There's also the KIND campaign, which is trying to stop bullying. It's about bringing awareness to the damage specifically girl against girl bullying can have. The campaign has girls apologize for unkind online behavior. Well, the lifestyle and quick decisions military families have to make puts them at a higher risk of being taken advantage of financially. In a new report, the Better Business Bureau says that military families lose on average 32% more money to scams. And even though they already have a job, employment scams are most costly for those in the military, oftentimes losing nearly $2,500. Now, that's more than double the average person. Military families also file more complaints related to moving and purchases, related to relocating and home improvement scammers. All right, let's get back to our lineup here. And a new school year is right around the corner, and we're taking a look at some of the affordable options to cover college tuition.
Ed Martin Honda.
The only name you need to know.
Welcome back to the Now Indy on RTV6. Former Indianapolis City County Councilor Jeff Miller looks to be free and clear now after he appeared to violate his probation last year. Last year, Miller was charged with child molesting but pled guilty to battery on a person less than 14 years old. He received nearly 4 years of probation, but he was accused of violating that probation when he attended a Halloween event in Fountain Square just 2 months later. The probation hearing was set for this week, but the Hamilton County prosecutor dismissed the violation. We have been asking the prosecutor's office why the probation violation was dismissed and have yet to receive an answer. Former U.S. Representative Todd Rokita said even though he's been nominated for a position on the Amtrak Board of Directors, his previous votes to defund the organization were just to send a message. Rokita appeared before a Senate committee this week defending his votes when he was a congressman. He voted to defund Amtrak twice, once in 2015 and once in 2017. President Trump nominated Rokita in May for the position. At the hearing, Rokita cited a part of U.S. code that states Amtrak should try and minimize government subsidies.
If that is statute, if that is the law of the land, that should be our highest priority. And that's reflective of my votes.
No votes were taken on Rokita's nomination this week.
Let's start the news feed with a heartbreaking story for a dog owner in Alabama. An animal shelter says it mistakenly euthanized her pet. The Montgomery Humane Society picked up a dog that was running around a neighborhood and says that it mistook it for a different animal slated to be put down. New York City now suing American Airlines. The suit claims that American retaliates against workers who use their paid sick time. It also says American did not pay sick leave at a required rate. Americans denying those allegations. E-cig maker Juul is popular with young people, and lawmakers have documents they say show that the company spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on youth programming and summer camps as recruitment tools. Juul says the programs were to teach the dangers of nicotine addiction. Well, school is right around the corner, and you may be bracing for that college tuition bill, but experts say you do have options other than loans. Experts say don't wait until the first bill is in the mail. Schools usually have a payment plan. Now, when it comes to enrollment fees for a plan, they're usually between $50 and $100, and that's likely less than the interest you'd pay on a loan. Monthly payment plans can let students pay up to half their semester's tuition. They can then pay the other half over 2 months. Others let students make payments before the semester begins, and that will make the payments smaller when they come. Now, if the school doesn't offer a payment plan, don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions.
So if the school doesn't publish a typical installment plan or payment plan, ask the school. Interestingly enough, when I was director of financial aid at a school, we didn't have a formal plan, but we would make payment arrangements with families on a case-by-case basis.
Budgeting's obviously really important, and experts say you want to think about the money that you won't spend now that your student's out of the house. Now, you can start planning now if your student is a few years away from high school. That's what the experts say you should do. And the site collegedata.com has information on which colleges offer installment plans. Now, ahead in our lineup, nearly 2 million people are now signed up for the infamous Storm Area 51 event on Facebook. And today, we're actually tagging along with UFO hunters in Nevada to see what may be at that top secret location. Is there proof of alien life at Area 51? It's a question we've heard a lot lately. It actually led a Facebook group that started as a joke to become just more real by the day. The Storm Area 51 page now has millions of people saying they're going. So much so, the military even issued a stern warning to those who might actually show up to this top secret location. But it does beg the question, are people really going to show up? We sent Chris Welch to the Nevada desert to find out.
It's dusk, just beyond the lights of the Las Vegas Strip.
So what we do is we come out here into this desert.
It's the perfect time.
We want to see if we can actually summon one of these things.
To hunt for aliens.
I gotta pause. Are you guys seeing something over there?
Joshua Warren is desperately seeking his own close encounter.
And we use every technique we can possibly imagine.
From high-speed cameras to, remember these, even a Ouija board, Joshua Warren has been UFO hunting for years. But as seriously as he takes this,
I am personally not planning to storm Area 51.
He says it's disrespectful.
I actually do understand. This is a true military base. It's active. It's not Disneyland.
I do intend to be a part of it.
Nick Weir says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Absolutely. I think it's too much of an opportunity to pass up. You have so many people going all at once, and there's so much information to be gathered at that location.
We wanted to get a sense of that location, so we took the 2.5-hour road trip ourselves, where we drove past, well, a lot of nothing. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of road signs pointing you in the direction of Area 51, but after about a 12-mile drive down this public dirt road, we came across this, really the only indication that we're in the right spot.
Everybody wants to know what's behind those mountain ranges. I don't care.
Connie West runs the Little A-Lee Inn.
You know, I've never seen a little green man. I don't anticipate it.
It's a cafe and motel.
We have 10 rooms. They're gone.
It is the only business within dozens of miles of the purported entrance to Area 51. So yes, business has been good for her ever since Storm Area 51 blew up on social media.
I think it was my niece who actually got on her phone and went, "Oh, damn." Oh, damn, it's really happening.
But what will it really turn into, if anything?
It's going to end up being a great big party.
And storming the gates?
If somebody chooses to cross the line, that's really a stupid thing to do. Yeah, I mean, it's a federal trespass, and it will follow them the rest of their lives.
By some miracle, you know, thousands of people are crossing it, and it seems like we could make any kind of progress. Maybe. I might have to push forward just to get a couple of pictures of what might be inside of Area 51.
But the guy who's not going still has a message for the government.
We understand that there are a lot of things that you have to keep secret for our security, but come on. If there are aliens, if there's other life out there, that's where we draw the line.
Reporting somewhere in the Nevada desert, I'm Chris Welch.
Thank you, Chris. A South Bend store employee takes matters into his own hands and locks 2 people inside of his business. He says the pair has shoplifted from him in the past, and he didn't want them to get away. When police got to the store, they gave the suspected shoplifters a trespass notice. That means they are not welcome on the property, and if they come back, they can be arrested for trespassing. If they do come back, police suggest the store employees not lock the suspected shoplifters in again.
The person could have been armed. They may have had a freak out, if you will, and had just started breaking things, causing potential damage or even harm to the individual. So ideally, ask yourself this question: is your life or harm to yourself more important than whatever item is being taken?
This time, the situation ended peacefully. Kevin.
If you've got a big Friday night planned, then you've got a great weather evening for that. See, the sky's clearing there as you look to the west. We've had more clouds today than over the last couple of days. We still managed to hit 84 for our high temperature. Let's look at some changes that are coming our way. A little bit warmer, then the humidity climbs a little bit. We'll also have a nice breeze tomorrow. That'll be one change from the last few days. And then hopefully we get some rain on Monday as we transition back to somewhat cooler temperatures. Temperature in Indy is very nice right now. Wind out of the southwest, we're at 81 degrees, only a couple degrees warmer in Howard County, down in Monroe, Bloomington, Lake Monroe. What a great place to be today or for the weekend. There's another view to the west. Just like the last few days, we have some fair weather clouds in the afternoon. They go clear or fade away at night. Temperatures during the day tomorrow, a warmer start that will lead to a warmer finish. 68 degrees already by 8 a.m. Noontime temperature tomorrow with the wind starting to pick up. Southwest west at 15 and 83 degrees. We'll max out in the upper 80s. Some spots may touch 90. Bedford, Seymour, areas down toward the Ohio River. I just want to show you through the day. This is 7 a.m. Saturday. Not much. We begin to see the fair weather clouds develop in the afternoon, but no shower activity. We'll hold off on that until probably Monday will be our next best chance. Temperatures tomorrow, just a little above average for this time of year. That southwest wind started to drag the warmer temperatures into the state, and it will bump the humidity up as well. But I think most of the heat index values will be 95 degrees or less on Sunday. 75, that's the way we get started on Sunday morning. 84 at noon. Fair weather clouds through the afternoon and pushing closer to the 90-degree mark. We'll unveil the 4-day forecast for you coming up.
Let's start the news feed. California is making a deal with big-time car companies to make fuel-efficient vehicles. Ford, BMW, Honda, and VW are part of this. Governor Gavin Newsom says the goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is expected to relax federal standards that cut back on emissions. The Brady Bunch's home became one of the most iconic houses in America. HGTV actually renovated the inside of the house in Los Angeles. The TV network paying more than $3 million for it. There's going to be a special next month that'll air showing the changes they made inside. Woodstock's 50th anniversary show may not be near the original site in New York. The producers say they have a deal to host the 3-day festival in Columbia, Maryland, between DC and Baltimore. They weren't able to secure a spot in New York for the event. The person who is funding the show backed out earlier this year. An app that helps people out with money until their next paycheck's under scrutiny right now. The Earnin app suggests that you include a, quote, tip when you request to borrow money. It suggests 10%, but you can change the amount to less, even zero. Some state regulators say that's essentially like charging a fee or interest rate.
Settlers, action. What is up, y'all? My name is Legally Ginger, and today I'm going to be talking about my channel.
All right, well, this generation of kids, they're training to become YouTube stars. They're actually honing these skills at a summer camp, and Annie Taylor went to a class in Denver where kids are showing her how it's done.
You're looking at the next generation summer camp.
Action.
Trading in zip lines, campfires, and outdoor adventures for cameras, microphones, and green screens.
I want to be a gaming designer, an actor. I want to be a whole bunch of things.
12-year-old Davin Roberts signed up for Talk to the Camera to learn how to be more confident behind and in front of the camera.
Being on camera, you get to express yourself.
We give kids video creation skills. We kind of take all the essentials of public speaking and mesh it with all the technicalities of being on camera.
Co-owner and CEO Audrey Walters is an actress and created Talk to the Camera to help kids who want to be the next YouTube star or actor, to give them a solid foundation.
We don't teach this class to make kids YouTube stars. We teach it because we want to give them the life skill.
Walters believes video skills are an essential life skill for the next generation and can offer so much to all kids.
I absolutely love working with these kids. I mean, we have had so many breakthroughs. I'm trying not to get emotional because we have had kids who are on an autism spectrum who have finally made eye contact, and that was using the camera.
Parents like Will Gerber are open-minded to YouTube being a career.
There's various other benefits to being part of a YouTube production. You could be behind the scenes, finishing a product from beginning to end. All those things are really, really beneficial outside of just being on video.
While most kids enjoy the adventure camps, Davin says he's gained so much from Talk to the Camera.
I think here's better because you get to show who you really are.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Great stuff, Annie. Thank you. And next in our lineup, our DNA can tell us a lot about ourselves. But now fitness instructors are using that information to find the best workout for you. And we're going to break down how these DNA fitness tests actually work.